Hi devs, welcome to Becodewala. I welcome you to the part 2 of our car website that we are building. In the last part, we have built the home section. So you can go on the YouTube and you can see the part 1 of our car website. You can just search Becodewala. So there you will find the car website part 1. So you can go and check out all the project that I built, and you can explore with the source code, with the free source code. And in this we are going to build this feature model. So in this feature model we have a heading and the paragraph below. Then we have a three beautiful cards with the hovering effect, with this image of each car, the name of each car, and their horsepower, capacity, and all price. So you can include the details and a view details button. So this is the beautiful landing page in which we have included the feature model section. So this we are going to build using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So if you are new to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe us. So let's write the code for our feature model. So how we can write the code for our feature model? So first of all we have to create a section tag. In this we have to write a id model, so that we can use this id to go to that particular section that we have seen in the nav, right? We have used id, right? hr in the href, this id. So if you have not watched part 1, you can go and watch. So here the class model section to style this section. Now we have to create a div container. In this container we are going to keep our all the elements that we need in our feature model section, and here we are using class container to style this container, right? Then after that what we have to do, we have a header. After that we have a header, and then we have a three. Where is that? So in three we have this cards. So first of all we will keep header in a separate div, and this cards will be in a separate div, right? So here we have created a div. In this we will keep the section header and the model grid in the different div, right? And each have a different class, so that we can style with a different. Now in the first one we'll section header, we'll keep the heading section title feature model. So you can see that the section title feature model, so that we have to keep. Then we below that we need a paragraph, so we have added a paragraph, and we have added the class for styling it. Now this part is over. Now what is the second part? This three cards. So three cards will keep in a separate div, right? That, and in this we need different models. See, so we are using three model card, right? So here three cards, right? So each card should have a different div, so that it will be easy to style. So we have a using model grid class to style this, and we are adding three cards, so we have added three divs, and each div we have a same class, that we is model card, because we are adding same style for each card. And here we have added data, that data we are going to use to identify each particular div, to apply some style using JavaScript. So that's why we use data model, and it should be different in each card, right? So let's, if you want to style the first card, so in first card we have this image and this name of the car, then the details and the button, right? So let's see the first. So in the first we have an image in a particular div, right? We have applied the image tag in this particular div with the image link, right? And then we have added a separate div for what? So separate div for the content, card content. So this is the card content, this is for image. Card content we can set in it. See, when you hover, only car, the car is zooming out, right? Because we have applied the scaling on this particular div in which the car image is present. But it is not scaling this the details of the name and all, because we have added in a different. So that's why adding in a different container using div, right? So that we can apply the separate styling, right? And then we have added the heading, the name of the car, and the div. In this div we have added three span tag. So why we are added three span tag? We are adding the three details, right, in a inline. So inline elements, so that's why you are using a span. So here we can mention the details. Now below that we have a button. So here we have added the button tag, card button, to this class to style this button, and then view details to view the details of that card. You can add a pop-up, right? So when user will click view details, it will go to the particular page, or it should a pop-up display for this particular card. So it depends on you how you want to show your landing page. Similarly we have to do for the other. So how we can do for other? Similarly for other also we have a particular div for the image, then a separate div for the content, right, where we'll write the name of the car, then a particular div in which we'll write three span tag for the details of the card. See how we have separated each and every element so that it should not interfere with the each other, right? And we can apply the separate styling for each of them. So this is the professional way of writing the code. So and it will be very easy to maintain. So now we will write the style for this card. So let's see how it will look currently. See, without styling it is something looking like feature model. See, and this paragraph, then images and the name of the car, then here we have a details with a span, and then view details button. So it is something looking like this without styling. So let's style each of them one by one. So to style that each and everything one by one, first of all we have to create a common thing. So for the model section, feature section, space section, gallery section, whatever the section will made, so for each section we want to add the 8 rem padding, right, on the x-axis and y0, and then position relative. So this style will apply on this all this section, right? Currently we are using the model section. When we will build other section, the same style should be applied on the other section also, like padding and position for each section, so that each section should have a particular look and feel. So now section header, how we want to show the header top? So I want that should be aligned center and margin. See, it is in center and margin 4 rem, right? Margin bottom. Now I want more styling. The title, the section title is currently looking like this. See, small. We want to increase the size, font, bold, hovering effect. So you can add many things if you want. So I have added the font family different for the heading. Font size we have increased, font weight we have increased, border bottom, and the space between the letter. So you can see that how it is looking. Now we have a paragraph extra, right? Section subtitle. We have used this class section subtitle while building writing our HTML. For that we have used the different font size and color and font weight, right? So here you can see that. Now we can style the car cards. So let's see. So we want three column. So three cards should show on the large device. Currently we are writing code for the large devices first. So here we are writing the display grid, so that it should maintain a particular width, and it to take a equal space on this device. See, and it should in a row wise. So here we have written, so 1 fr, and it will take 350 pixel, and gap will be 2.5 mm. Currently it is looking something like this. When we'll apply, this is on a one div, and the parent div we have applied the grid. Now we have to style our each and children, so each card have a different div, right? So we'll style that also. So model card, So each model card have a same style, right? So for that we want the background color should be this, then backdrop filter, then border radius transition, then position relative, opacity 0, and translate in y direction I want 50 pixel, then animation I want to add fading up. So these are the style you can add. See how it is looking. Now we have a style, the same style for the each card. Now I want the second child. So nth child in the model card animation delay I want zero point 0.2 second. I want to delay the animation for this card. For the third child I want the increase that animation delay. So one by one it should appear. So these are the way to style your cards with the animation delay. Mask vector, right? So here we are applying this linear gradient to this. So here the opacity is currently 0 and transition opacity with the zero point 0.4 second is. So when we hover, this linear gradient should apply in the background, right? So let me apply the, so for the model card hover, when we hover on it, so opacity become 1, and model card hover translate y, so it will translate in y direction minus 10 pixel, and box shadow will increase. So you can see that, see the gradient, right? So these are the things that we can apply here. So if you remove this, so now see it is applying not in the background, it is applying on the front, right? And when we apply this WebKit mask, come here linear gradient. So when I remove this, and now see, so it will apply the here only, because we have to use the WebKit mask gradient with this color code, and it will be in content box. Then we have to write the gradient with this color code, right? Now it will apply in the background, see, of this card. So this is the WebKit mask that you can apply. Then let style the card image. So card image div the parent, so width and height we have defined here. Now the height of this image has been decreased. Now this image is not looking perfectly, so we have to apply the style on the image tag, right? This is the card image class present, that is the div. Now we have to apply the style on the image, so we will have to apply height with 100% and object fit cover, so it will look good and each image will be perfectly aligned in the center, see. So now we can style when we hover on the card, so image should scale right to 1.1. So when you hover and see scaling to 1.1, so these are the things we can make it interactive. And now for the card content, we want padding 2 rem, right, from all the sides. Now for the card title, we want the font style and font size and font weight should be increased, right? So make this the name of the card like this. Now we have a specification for the car, right? So for that we have added a flex so that it should be in a row, and a space between so that it will take a equal space, and the padding and the background color, font size color that we can apply. So now it is looking something like this. Now for the button, so for the button is also easy. We have to apply the width 100%, then we can apply the padding, then background transparent, border, color of the text, font weight, transition, font family. So these are all style that you can apply. Currently it will not look, because when we hover, that should show, right? On the model card hover, it should show the model card button, right? So that time it will become opacity 1, right? So see, now it will look, see. So these are the things small things that we have added here, and this makes these cards perfectly looking fine. If you want more styling, you can add it. Now we will build the other section. What is the other section? So, revolutionary features, technology that transform every journey. So here we have added some features that we have added in our cars, like autopilot, electric, luxury interior, and connected experience. So, and we have a hovering effect right with the background, right? So this section will be very simple. So let's write the code for this section also. So in the future section, first of all we have to create a separate section, and we have to apply the id that, like we have applied the id in our models. Similarly we have to apply the id in the feature. So you apply the feature id and the class feature section. Now we have to create a similarly a container. In this container we write all the content that we need in our application. Then we have apply a section header and the feature slider. So like we have created for model, for this also we have to apply, create this in a separate div, that header. And you can see that the styling is already applied, like because we have used the same class for this, so we can use the same class here also to apply the same style. Now here see, the icon is looking something like this. So this is the future slider. So in this, what are the things we have added? So we have a first div. So in the first div it should have a this cards, and the below we have a slider, see. But you can apply the feature using JavaScript for the sliding more. So here in the first one we have a three divs, first, second, three cards. You can see that feature card. So or four cards, not three, four cards we have. So we are adding four cards as of now. So here we have a four cards. We can add more card also here if you want. So here we have a four feature card, right? And in this each feature card we have a separate div, right, for the feature icon. And using svg, we have used svg to create the icon. You can use the google icon for the applying icon, that will be so easy. But this svg will be more performance better. And here the h3 tag, the you can see that the feature and the description of that feature, right? So similarly we can add for the other section also, right? So feature icon and the there you can see that their description with the electric performance and the zero emission. So similarly we can copy paste the another card, and we have to change the this icon with the svg and the h3 tag, the text content and the paragraph content that we have to change. Otherwise the all styling should be applied to the each card would be same. Now let's style this. So how we are going to style this? So to style this we have to use the feature section class. So let's go to the style.css, and here we will add the feature section class, and we will apply the background gradient different for this. So we have applied the background gradient for the feature section. Now feature slider. So for the feature slider we want the position relative and overflow hidden, so that will not make our content should be overflow out of our viewport. Then here the fast track feature track. So where is our feature track? So here is our feature track, right? And in this we have a feature card. So for the feature tag we want how many, four divs should be present. So one, two, three, four, right? And I want the gap between this and the transform with a cubic brazier with these points that we have mentioned here. Now feature card. So each card we have to style now. So each card should have a background, this, and the background filter, border, padding, trans, align center, position, relative. So these are the things we have applied. Now the card looks something like this. Now we can apply, when we hover on the card, what should happen. So when you hover on card, so we have used the before, and this before content should only apply when we hover. So to apply the hover, we have to use the here. So in before we have used the content empty and position absolute and the top and left 0, then with 100% and height 4 pixel, so that it will apply the background gradient, right? And transform into x will be 0, and transition transform 0.4 second each, right? Below, when we hover in this feature card before, then scale x, in the x we have a 1, and then here when we hover on this card, right, we have to translate -10 pixel in y, and background color will be this, and back shadow will be this. So this how we apply the hovering effect. See how cool it is. So now we can apply the style for the icon. So icon is very large, right? So we have to decrease the size with the height, width, margin, background color, border radius, display phrase, justify content, box shadow, transitions. All these things we can edit here. Now feature card. So where is our feature card? Feature icon, and feature card hover. Feature icon will be rotate 180 degrees. So we want it will rotate in 180 degree when we hover on this card, right? So and SVG. So the icon, the width and height we have decreased. Now it will look small in icon size. See, now we can style the S3 tag. So the details, the font size, the margin, bottom, font family, that is, you can see that. And for the paragraph that we have used, for the heading, for that we have also changed the color, line height, and the font size. See, now for the feature nav. So the nav button. So what is this feature nav? So here in the feature nav we have a three. So first index, data index 0 1 2 3, right? And we have a three button. So currently it is will active this. So this is the first. So slide the second, third. If you add more data, it will go to the other slide also, right? So you can add the functionality for showing more cards here, so that it will go to the each section. So you can add the slider, right? If you don't know how to create the slider, you can watch the tutorial on YouTube. So there I have uploaded how to make the slider using HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript. So you can check out the channel here. On my channel I have uploaded how to make the card slider, the image slider. You can see that. You can go and check out the channel, you will find the tutorial for this. So similarly we are going to create for this. So how we can style this below this nav, right? So for styling that, we have to make it in a flex first of all, right? And we should provide a gap between them, then justify content sense, so that it will be in center, and margin from top will be 3 RE. So each nav button, this is for the parent. Now we can apply the style for each button. So we can make the width, height, and background color, border radius, and everything that we need. Now when the feature button is active, what style should be applied? So the background color will be this, width 40 pixel height. See, when it will be active, right? So we have made active as a first one because we have applied the active button as class in the first child, right? So these are the things that we have applied here, right? And now we can go and create the this section, performance specification, where you can apply this similarly filter. So for Apex GT these features, for Apex are these features, right? So and you can see that the animation, the counting animation, right? So you can apply this class, and with the each class we can add the data filter, and based on that we can filter the data for each, and we can animate this counting, right? So this section will also be easy, and I will share you the full source code with free of cost, so you can go and check it out. Let's write code for the specification section, where we will mention all the specification of a particular model. So first of all we have to create a section tag, and in this we have to add the class spec section, right? Now we have to create a container like we are creating for other section. Now here we can see that we have mentioned the div for the section header like we are adding for the other. So you can see that the section header, and it automatically apply the style because we have used the same class, and you can see the section title, section subtitle, and section header for like other section. Now we have a here the tabs, so the filter tabs, and we have used the different, see data tab, see data tab for the Apex GT, Apex R, Apex X. So and the active one is the first one, the button we are using as a button, like so that we can filter it out each specification, right? Now below that we can create a div for the content. So there we write four circles, right? So four rounded circle where we are showing, so we have to use grid. So status grid, we have created a column here. Let me show you start item. So we have created a div, in this we'll write a specs content, and in this div we'll create another div for the each status grade. So for first one, so let's here show you first one is horsepower. So and here is the horsepower for this. So let me refresh and show you. So here it is showing 850, here it's showing 2.1, and here it's showing range 520 and top speed 215. So each have a particular circle, right? Each, and we have a middle, we have a content, and below we have a paragraph. So for each of them, like we are using four status item, right? So we have to make in a grid, and we have to use four, right? And each item should be status circle. We created a div status circle, in that we have used the data 850. So initially the data will be 850, you can see that for the first one. So in the first card 850 the data value, then we have a svg is a circle, right? That circle we have created, right? See the circle around. Now the status value, the target 850, and initially it will be 0, right? And it will be up to 850 when we, let me show you, when we go, so see it start from 0, then it will go to the 850, see. So the target is 850. So start from 0 and it will go to the data target 850. Now below we can mention the label horsepower. So this data for the horsepower. Similarly we can copy paste the same style for the status item, and here we'll mention the status circle, then here the value 95, and target will be the here the 2.1, right? So it will go from 0 to 2.1, you can see that. And now here the status ring, we can, like we have used the circle for the other, so similarly we can use the circle for this also. So just we have to change the data below and the in the middle, right, for each. So we have used the fork div, right, the four cards. Now here we can style. So currently our HTML, you can see that the circle is looking something like this, a specification. So we have to style this, right? So let's style this. So for a space section, so for I want the background color should be different. So I apply the radiant background at the application at the center with this RGB and transparent 70%, right? Then we have applied each tab, a specific tab, flex. So each button should be in the flex, right? And gap should be in the bottom, right? You can see that, and it should be in the center. You can see the button above, right? Now for each specific tab I want to style. So it should be a particular padding first, background color, backdrop filter. You can add the bug shadow, border radius, cursor pointer, transition, font family, and font size. So these are the style you can make it. You can see the how it is looking. Now when we hover on it, if it is active, I want different color. Suppose want to make the first one is active, and I want to, when it is active, I want to apply the background color, border and all these things to the first one, right? So now for the status grid, so for the status grid, right, so display grid, so we can make it in a grid, and it should have a 250. So see it is in a grid row wise, and it should take 250 width, right, is circle, right, and gap is 3 rem, right, that we have applied. Now for each status item, right, each status item text align should be center, and status circle position should be in the relative. Then we have to meet the width and height and margin. See now it is looking great. Now status ring transform to rotate 90 degree. See, so currently it will not apply, so we'll have to write the full code, and then we will have to add the JavaScript for the animation, right? So status ring background, we have used the fill with the none, and stroke with the, see, the rounded, now it is showing, right? And now for the progress, right, here for the URL we have added the gradient, right? So widely, so available across major browser, so that is the gradient that we are using, right? Now here fill now stack around, and see, and it is transparent. So you can see that before we apply, so it was a black color. Now that has been appear. And status value, for the status value that we have seen, the position absolute, top left 50%, and transform with the 50% minus 50, we are making in a center status value, and we are changing a font family and all. So and the color, right? Now we can write for the status label. So for the status label, text layering and font size and font weight we can make it a. So now currently it is looking like this, but we have to make, right, when we click on this it will show the details of this, and it will start from 0 to the particular value. So that feature you can add using JavaScript. So I'll share with the code with you, no worries, free of cost. You can check out the description, in there I have given the source code. So let's see the JavaScript. So let me write the JavaScript. For the JavaScript I have already written the code for that also. So we are starting with the observer option. So for the threshold we are starting with the 0.2, and root margin we have defined the coordinates here. And then for the intersection observer, so it track the user behavior when the user interact with our site, right? It target and track each element in your like index.html that we have used each element. So intersection observer track each element. So here first of all we are making the style opacity is 1 and y0, and we'll apply this observer. So document.get query selector model card feature section gallery item. For each we have to apply this style transformation when the user will scroll, so like appear animation, right? And then feature nav, so we are selecting the feature nav, and for each button when we click it will update the index, right? So here you can see that, see, it is applying the style here, but we have a few data so that it is not going to scroll other side. So now here update feature nav that we have added, if index is equal to current feature index, then it will apply the class active, and other from other it will remove that active sum. When it is active it will apply this style, the feature nav. Now apex data, for apex r we have used the horsepower acceleration and all this data that we have written in the object form, right? For each, now when we write, first of all we select the that particular tab. When we click, suppose current model is apex r, when we click on the each any of this, then it will first of all remove the class active for other section and add the class active to the particular button that for which we have selected. So suppose I selected this, so it will apply functionality on this, and for others it will remove that active class, right? And how we are going to update the, so first of all we will get the status item, right? Status item from the our HTML. Then after that it will take the status value, status circle, and status ring progress. So currently our ring progress is not appearing. I don't know why the status ring is not appearing, that the filling with the color, but you can fix it later. So here the target and display value first of all. Then first of all we'll start with the case 0. So what we are doing, we are using switch statement. First of all we get the data without horsepower, so for each car, then we'll display that target value and we will break. For case 2 for the acceleration, case 3 for the range, case 4 for the like we are starting from the 0, so we here with the top speed. Now we have to get the set the attribute data target equal to display value, that the whatever the display value we are to get, then percentage status circle dot data set value, right? In the status circle we have to get the value and we have to round that, but it is not showing currently. So we have to make the offset. First of all we have to calculate the percentage and circumference for this each, like each, so each circle, but the that it is not showing currently. Before it was showing in the demo part of our site, so you can see the previous part, right? And you can get the full source code with the free of cost, and you can fix the this ring circle animation. Then first of all in the animate counter, how we are going to animate, so we have to get the element and the target. Then first of all we duration 1.5 second and start with the 0. Then we have to go to the target with the duration divided by 16, then it will increment at that. Then current equal to start, so current will be 0. Then we'll add the set time interval with the 16 millisecond and it will increment. So if the current is greater than target, then element dot text content target percent like module 1 equal to 0, then math round dot target or target dot fix to and clear time interval. So when we go on this, it will go to the particular setup within 1.5 second and it will stop here, right? And it will be target dot fix. So here it should be in decimal, or it should be in the like without decimal, and we have to clear the interval when we are adding the interval. So this how we have added for this section, right? And when we scroll that, then it automatically start animating, updating the status with the how we are going to track each element when it is came in the viewport or not, using intersection observer. Then we have to use the update status function. Here we have to call that, and we have to enter the target, so it will use this API and with the threshold 0.5. So these are we can add the styling like functionality for our section. Now we can style other section. What is the other section? So let me show you. Other section is gallery section, and gallery section similarly we have a filter button. Based on that, it filtering the cards, and when we hover, it show a plus icon with a gradient, and when we click, it should show a pop-up modal. So we have fixed the issue. The issue was in our performance specs. You can see that now you can see that the round fill circle is appearing, and the number is also showing. So before this rounded circle, the filling with these colors was not showing. Now it is showing. I have fixed a little, but still a issue is there. When we go for the other section, it still show the same length of the filling in the circle. So I want you to fix this. So you can go to the code, you will get the full source code on our github. So here you can see that the full source code on my github. You can go and get the full source code, and I have updated the code also. The issue is when we go for the others models, the length of the circumference, the filling color is still same, but it should animate each time based on this number count present in. So you have to fix this. So now gallery section. So in gallery section, when we click on plus icon, before it was not showing this image like a model, but now it is showing. We have fixed this also. So you can check the JavaScript. The issue was in JavaScript, so you can check out, and you can see that. So you can see that you can go back and previous images, right? And you can here, from here you can cut this, or otherwise you can click anywhere, so it will remove the model. So this functionality we have added using JavaScript. You can go to the exterior we have only two car, so it will show only two car, see. So this all this functionality added using JavaScript. So I have fixed this issue also in JavaScript, and here you can see that the testimonial section, previous, next, and all, and this was working well. And here you can see that the our contact section, and there also it is working fine. So I am going to explain you little bit in this remaining section. You can go and get the source code from the our github, or from the tutorial description, and you can read it how it works. So it is totally free, you can get the source code. So I'm just going to explain you little. So for the remaining section, so here, where is our, yeah, so gallery. So gallery, first of all, we have created a section like others we used to create, and for the id, for the accessing this element in our main.js file, and class gallery section for the styling. Now we created container, so in this container all our content will be there, which is present in our gallery section, so like other section. Then after that, here we have created, see, first of all we have created a div, and in this div we have a header, and we have applied the same class that we use in others, so that it will apply the same style. That's why I use class. Then gallery filter buttons. So we have a gallery filter button, so we have to keep in separate div. This all these images should be in separate div. Then this each image should be in a separate div, right? So we have make in a professional way, right, all this. So here in the div we have all the buttons, right, and class filter button, and initially the first one will be active. So whenever we use active class, we use to style in the style.css, and data filters that we are going to use in our JavaScript, we have to use this value to filter our data according to the buttons. So this is very important when you write it here. So then for each, in the first of all we have created a parent div. In this we have all the images. So first image, then second image, so all these images with the image link and overlay gallery zoom. So when we hover on it, it show a plus icon, right? So when we, so we have created a overlay when we hover on it. So you can go and create using style.css, and when we click on the plus icon, it should show the image. So how it will show? So let me show you gallery item. So here first of all we have get the filter button and gallery item. For each button we have added the event listener click. When the user will click, first of all we have get the dataset dot filter. So this dataset filter that we have added, right, see in this button data filter all. So we have to get that. Then here we are removing, and so when we are going to the other button, we have to remove the active from the previous button, right, and we have to add to the next button. So here add it to the next button. And for each gallery item, when all categories all or data set dot category dot item equal to filter. So when first of all we'll get the that filter that is like all, and then we match according to the item that we click, that will, is it all section or it is exterior section. So based on that we filter out, and then we hide the remaining, and we have to show only which the user has clicked. So and we have to make the item style opacity 1 for that, and set timer for 10 millisecond. Then for other images we have to make opacity 0, right? Then after that here the light box image. So close and light box image that we have seen here, right? So this is the light box image. So when we click on it, it show the this image on the top like a model, right, and it has a two button and the close button. So light box image here. So for that also we have get the gallery items, and then we have to get the contents. It is containing height, right? So it should not contain height. So then here the gallery item, for each gallery we have to query selector zoom gallery zoom. So that class we have used in the HTML, we have to get that. We can see that gallery zoom, where is our, here, see on the plus icon, when you click on it the image will be zoom and it will show like a model, right? So for that we have added, when the user will click here, then that time we have to we have to show that item. And we have, first of all we have to replace the w, the width and the height, right, and then we have to add the class active, and when we close it we have to make it hidden. So all this like JavaScript functionality you can add it, right? You can go through the code, it is totally free. You can get the source code, you can get it on my GitHub. So for the remaining section, so here we have a similarly the headers like we are creating for others section also. Then here we have a previous and next like we have created the previous next for this gallery section, right? So similarly we have to create the button for this, and for each index, so each card have a particular index. Then here we have a style the card. So like we have done for this image, so here it is showing all the images, and then we are going to the next image. So similarly the same functionality, the same way we can use here also. Then we have a simple context section. So you can create the input field, and here is the select option. You can select with a particular option, and then you can submit the request. So let me write some random data. So when we submit here, so it will show a loading and request submitted, and it should show we will contact with it. So this JavaScript functionality, when the user will click, we have to hide that form, and we have to show a new div, right, that we have created. So this functionality we can add using JavaScript. You can go through the JavaScript part here. Where is our contact section? See, contact form. When the form will success, we have showing some created confetti, right? We have that the final card, right, and it show with like the animation, right, that we have added, right? So confetti, and then here newsletter form. So thanks for subscribing. So that we can add here also, that here the functionality when you submit, then it will show the same thing like this. So if you find any issue, you can comment down and try to fix that, the small issue that you find in the JavaScript part, right? So and similarly the footer is similarly similar like other projects I created, like for the real estate, right, for the portfolio. So similarly you can, if you have not watched other tutorials, you can go and watch. You can take the inspiration and you can design the same way, and you can get the free source code. You can go through the source code, it is totally free. And hope you guys like the project, and we'll meet in a next tutorial with a new amazing project. So thanks for watching, and you can get the source code in the description.